Okay, I just got a little bit of an error, but that's okay. Welcome to the Georgie Line, my first live stream back. It's been a while. I've been doing a fair few things. And one of those things is building the Georgie Line. I've also set up, I'm just doing a couple of things. It's live. Can't do much about that. Hey. So I've been finding my lane, just as we all do when we get to this little bit of a time in our lives. And it's fun getting there, but it's not fun, if that makes sense. So the Georgie Line, the Georgie Line is all about life. Now, I've spent a lot of my time in different fields, and some of those areas have been sales, marketing, photography, and a lot of things. And one of the fears I have is, I don't know if you can pick it up, but I suffer from eczema, and I don't like not looking flash, but that's me. Can't do much about it. And hang on a sec, drink time. And this show's about sharing all of the things that I enjoy. And those things include photography, travel, sport, and sharing people that I respect's music, as you'll see fairly soon. But the main thing is to get to the georgieline.com. That's where all of this lives, and all of it will live from here on in, except for the photography, which is petergeorge.com.au. And what I do there is share my work, and also have a couple of things that I do, like walking tours, especially up in Brisbane and on the Gold Coast, and then I'll start doing some mentoring sessions over in Bali to start with, because that's a place that I truly love. And yeah, so that's just it in a nutshell. To be honest, this was scheduled for 7:15 tonight, but I had time off work, and bang, here we are. And this is going to be how I run. My strength is talking, as you'll probably find out over time. And I will build the podcast a lot stronger than I will video. And that can be found at the Georgie Line as well. So everything sits at the georgieline.com, except for me photography work. So as I mentioned just before, one of the things that I have gone through is a fight with mental illness, and in 2021 attempt to take my life. And there's a musician that helped me get through that when I was in the mental health unit, and that's a guy by the name of Colin Lillie. May have seen him on The Voice Australia. Colin's music made sense to me, and his early music was about his struggles. And I've interviewed Colin a while back, and that video is available on YouTube, and also as audio on wherever you listen to your podcasts or audio sessions. So as much as I've done a bit of a change and rebuilt what I'm doing to the point where I've actually written a film script, which will come out hopefully in the next year or so. It's taken a little bit longer than I thought to get where I wanted to get to. But as much as I've gone and done something different. So was Colin. Colin's worked on a project. I haven't had a chance to talk to him about it, but I get a gist of what it is from his latest song, and that song is about to be played. He's given me his permission to play this and all of his music, because the next stream I do will have the song that made more sense to me. But for the first time on a live stream, I think, you will hear the great man himself, Colin Lillie, and This Land.
I braved the 7 seas, lost in time, seeking out freedom far and wide, with a heart burdened by the night. The spirit yearned to be a bird in flight. I found myself beneath the southern sky. It taught me the song of goodbye, but I never could run from my mind. So I traveled deeper to find I belong to this land. I belong to this land. Across this red hot dusty land, so far and so foreign from my mother's hands, and the people, they spoke in different tongues, and I knew this is where I belong. We belong to this land. We belong to this land. Belong to this land. We belong to this land. This place we all call home sees me as one of its own, and no matter where I travel or how far, the dreaming brings a soul back to its heart. We belong to this land. 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 We belong to this. We belong to this land. We belong
that was Colin's new song. Sorry, folks. A little bit uncomfortable. But, yeah, that was Colin's new song, This Land. Now, I think it's pretty poignant the way we are positioned in Australia today and all the people that make this great country what it is. And the beauty of it is having such a multicultural country is the food, the people, and everything that comes along with it. So we're pretty lucky here in the land of Oz. Now, the next part that we're going to talk about is something that's quite dear to my heart, and that's a sport. And what we're going to talk about, because the World Championships are coming up, is darts. And people think darts is a major sport, but yeah, it's becoming that way. $1 million prize money for the winner of the World Championship, or pound. So work that out in your own currency. And this year we've got a pretty strong representation in the World Championships with Kiwis and Aussies. And that all kicks off this week. So what I'll be doing is just running through quickly the Aussies and Kiwis that will be playing in the first round. And the beauty of it is for us here down under that the way that they've scheduled these guys to play is in the perfect time slots for us to actually watch the matches. So let's get underway with the darts preview and some of my thoughts. So the first match that will come up is Hupai Pua. Now, Hupai is a very decorated sports person, professional golfer in New Zealand. Very good at what he does, very disciplined at what he does. He's been trying to find his way over the last 2 years. If you don't know, there's a rolling ranking system in darts. And Hupai Pua sits at, I think he's 97th in the world. And it's the top 62 in the world that automatically get their cards extended. Hupai, I'm pretty sure, is now at his second year. So if he doesn't get to the quarterfinals, he'll have to go back to Q School. Now, he's playing Nels Zonneveld, and he's every chance of winning this. Nels has been playing pretty good darts, and so has Hupai. And wouldn't be shocked if he wins. And he's a pretty good lad. So, yeah, he's got to perform this, or he's back to Q School, as I said. But he's playing on the 12th of December, 10:30, which is the third night, or the first night. Can't remember, but yeah, he's out the first match. Now, the next morning, it'll be the last match of the day is our number one player in Australia, Damon Hedder. He plays Steve Lennon, and that'll be around about, the matches get off about 5:30. He'll be around about 8. Now, because he's the last match of the day, so that's what I mean. Like, it's the first match or the last match that these guys are playing on the particular day. Now, the problem with Damon is that his first rounds haven't been great over the last few tournaments. And Steve Lennon, the Irishman, he's one of these guys that's, you've got to watch him. He's been out of a tad of form of late. And so is Damon. Now, the big indicator for Damon to go through to the next round, if he gets to around about that 95 to 98 average. And then he'll kick on from there. But if he's sitting around that low 90s, high 80s, I think Steve can beat him. But I think it's now or never for Damo. I was fortunate enough in 2019 to photograph for the PDC his first win of a PDC event. Now, the next person that will be up and at it is Johnny Tanner from New Zealand. He, as far as I'm concerned, is their number one player. He's pretty consistent. Doesn't mind the big stage. He's done all right. And he's playing Richie Edhouse, who's stalwart in PDC darts. If he starts off well, Richie, he's hard to beat. But he fluctuates through his matches pretty hard. But Johnny's pretty consistent. He's done well in the Premier League here in Australia. And I think the advantage that these next lot of Aussies and Kiwis have is that they've all just come off the Premier League here in Australia, which the winner, who is the next person of the Premier League, got the automatic entry into the Worlds, and he needed to do that because he wasn't going to be there any other way. And that is Australia's own Simon Whitlock. Everybody knows Simon, been around in the darts world for many years and has been Australia's number one dart player for a very long time until Damon took over. Now, excuse me, he's playing Connor Scutt. Now, Connor beat Damon last time from memory in an event, and Connor's pretty good at what he does. But the big stage is where Simon can take hold. He's now in his 50s. That doesn't stop anything in darts, as long as he can do what he does best, and that hitting 180s and checking out. If he starts to hit the 180s, Simon, it'll be all over for Connor. But I think this is going to be a very, very tough match. Then the next one to play will be the West Aussie Joe Comedo. Now, he's playing Nico Springer, does well over in Europe. Joe takes his time playing, but he's been doing extremely well here in Australia. I can't see him going through to the next stage. I think the big stage will get to him, but he'll give it his best shot. And then the last one is another Western Australian, Tim Puzzi. He's playing Keen Barry. Tim will have to be at the top of his game to beat Keen. Former runner-up in the Junior World Championships. He's inconsistent. That's his big problem. Has an unusual dart flight, but as in it goes in on a downward angle. But, I think this will be probably out of the 6 matches, I think this might be the best. I think Tim might get a run on, and then, we'll see what happens. So there's this little thing over on the PDC website where you can do like a fantasy team. So you got to pick 2 contenders, 2 top players, and then through you go. So here's my little team for the World Championships, and it's captain's Luke Littler. You had to choose between one of the 2 Lukes. I think this young fella's going to win it again, to be honest. And then the other one that he's been in very, very good form is Gian Van Veen. He just won the Junior World Championship, beating Beau Greaves. I think he'll keep that form going through. The next one next group of two was Gerwin Price. He's always a dark horse in these sort of events. And Damon, you've got to put him in there. If he can get through the first round, I think he'll get through quite a long way into the event just based on his draw. And then Nathan Aspinall and Cameron Menzies. Now, Nathan's up and down. Loves the big stage though, so that's why I picked him. Now, Cameron Menzies, if he's got his self-belief in and on the radar, he can go a very long way. Very, very good darts player. Then we've got Ryan Joyce, Carl Sabchek, Keen Barry, and my big outsider is Justin Hood. Now, he very unassuming in the darts world, but I think he can cause a few upsets if he gets through the first round. And that's the big thing, the first round, and all the people from around the world. So that's what it's all about. Make sure that you go over to the georgieline.com to find out everything that we do, and petergeorge.com for all my photography stuff. As I said earlier, this was going to be at 7:15 today, but time off and not feeling too flush today. If you have a look, I've got puffy eyes and stuff like that. The eczema's playing up. But basically, I'll be doing these ad hoc, but the focus is going to be on audio and trying to tee up a few interviews. But the other side of things is that we want to support Colin. So Colin Lillie Music, Lillie, Lillie Music on Facebook and Instagram and everything like that. And colinlillie.com is his website. But he's a great musician. And what I'll do is I will leave us with another run of his great new song. And that is This Land.
I braved the 7 seas, lost in time, seeking out freedom far and wide, with a heart burdened by the night. The spirit yearned to be a bird in flight. I found myself beneath the southern sky. It taught me the song of goodbye, but I never could run from my mind. So I traveled deeper to find I belong to this land. I belong to this land. Across this red hot dusty land, so far and from my mother's hands, and the people, they spoke in different tongues, and I knew this is where I belong. We belong to this land. We belong to this land. Belong to this land. We belong to this land. place that we all call home sees me as one of its own. And no matter where I travel or how far, the dreaming brings a soul back to its heart. We belong to this land. 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 We belong to this. We belong to this land. We belong to this. We belong to this land. My blood. We belong. Oh, your blood. We belong to this land. Our blood is Australian. We belong to this. We belong to this land.
So there we go. Thanks for dropping past and watching the show. And from here on in, it's the Georgie Line. And as I always say, no matter what, when you wake up in the morning, enjoy it. Have a great day.